Hi Sandra, how are you?
Hi Luciana, I'm very good, thank you.
It's a pleasure having you here.
I'm really happy to be here.
So, these mutations happen spontaneously in our cells, mostly during a process called DNA replication. There are some things that will increase the risk of you having mutations. These are carcinogens, chemicals that are harmful chemicals, and certain types of radiation like X-ray, those kinds. This is a DNA strand which has different amino acids. Amino acids create proteins, but here we have a mutation. That means it can alter the protein. Maybe a protein that is useful for a certain thing, after it has a little part mutated, it cannot be useful anymore. An example would be the enzymes. As a mutation may change the shape of the active site, not allowing the substrate to join anymore, and not allowing it to catalyze anymore. A little bit more clear in the context of mutation, I have some questions for you. So first, do you know how DNA provides the instructions for making proteins in the body?
It's what you told me, and I remember is that there's like a gene expression, and that is how the instructions are given, and there are two processes, like transcription, and there's another process that's translation, and that
During DNA replication, mutations happen or not happen?
yes.
Good job, you guys! How do DNA mutations appear, and what can be the consequence of these mutations?
Mutations can appear because of what there is in the environment, like X-rays or contamination, that can make it more easy for the mutation to appear.
Now, final question. What are some ethical, economic, and social implications caused by genetic mutation?
Economic, well, they have to spend a lot of money in the treatments, and social, the well-being of the persons that have mutations.
Please, answer the social. So you think it will affect, like, well, other people will think of you, right? It will affect what other people will think of you, right? Yes. And that will affect your mental health. Okay, and now in economic, how do you think it will affect economic?
I don't think it could affect. I don't think it could affect your economic.
You don't think it will happen?
No, yes. Because of the medications.
What about the medications?
The money.
Correct. Like, the medications are expensive, they're not affordable for everyone, you know? An analysis of what I think are the main issues and the most concerning. Firstly, we have informed consent. So I think individuals are not always realize the risk they have of having these mutations and how their future generations can inherit it. And it could be risky for them and for their future children, as sometimes people are not fully informed in how this can affect them, and I think that's a really big problem. Also, I have the equity and access that I think it's really relevant, as not a lot of people have access to these kind of treatments, as they are quite expensive. So sometimes there are these people who have the mutation, but they get the treatment and it stops. But then we see those other people who, from grandparent to newborn, have the same mutations because they could never have the money to afford a treatment in order to make it stop, which shows a lot of inequity in society. I think now, moving on to social issues, a really big social issue is the public perception and trust, like the acceptance of genetically modified organisms are heavily criticized and heavily trust on regulatory bodies. I mean, you have to trust the scientists who made this procedure to you. There has to be a lot of trust because it's not an easy procedure. Also, we have the cultural implications, as the belief about this topic might vary depending on what they believe, if it's right, if it's wrong, if the mutation should be done. This can make a conflict, meaning maybe you want to modify, you want to prevent your future generations of having this, but then maybe in your culture you will be rejected because of you did this procedure. So there are different kind of perspectives. And lastly, economic issues. I think the cost and benefit analysis is very important, as the economic benefits of adopting genetically modified organisms are weighting against potential long-term ecological impacts, while financial are, so there can be a really quick financial response, like, oh my god, all the money, but the process and the result takes a long time, so there's not really a balance between the cost and benefit dynamics. And well, the investment and research, so significantly research has been made in order to find the ethical implications of mutation applications. It includes funding studies and explore social consequences, which has a big economical, and requires a big economical backup. So that will be it for today. See you guys next time.